Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you need a website, head over to squarespace.com/PaulMessner and you'll get a totally free trial. I'll let myself down, I'll let you guys down, and I'm a disgrace to the outdoor community. I've come to make a video and I haven't got a stove. How embarrassing is that? We get a little bit of snow in Sheffield, so I can't get to the office to access my gear. So I'm definitely no prepper. So if Armageddon comes around, we've got no chance in this household. So I better have a look around and see if I can find something to make a stove with. And then I'm going to pan fry some salmon and asparagus. So I've had a forage around and it appears Frosty's got a bit of a drinking problem. So I thought I'd try a little bit of recycling and make a stove out of a punk can. This is possibly the easiest alcohol stove with a built-in pot support that you can make. It's really important that you get a good quality can, so Punk IPA is arguably the best. Now if you look online, there's loads of templates and fancy measurements for making these stoves, but I'm just roughing it today, so I'm going to do it with a pocket knife and guesswork. So let's crack on and make a stove. I'm using the Victorinox Huntsman knife. Just going to get the little blade and then I'm going to score around the top of the can here. For all you guys that are whinge that I'm taking a blade to metal, this is a tool, so I'm going to use it, and then if I need to strop or sharpen the knife, then I will do. I'm not trying to cut all the way through it in one go, just scoring it. And I'm going to poke the blade through the top and then just cut round, not very far, I've only done about ½ inch there, and then I'm going to push the cap out, and then when you've scored it, weakened the joint, you should just be able to push the middle out. Be very careful because these are sharp edges in here, and if you lose a finger, it's not my fault. Looks like I've wasted a bit. Right, next bit, I'm going to use this tool here, the bottle opener, and I'm just going to run around the inside of this edge just to take any sharp burrs off a little bit. Right, it's time to start cutting this up a bit. I'm not marking anything, but Brewdog have kindly put a stove making line around the outside there, so where the dark blue meets the light blue, that's where you're going to cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the can in half just above, and then I'll tidy it up with the scissors. So I'm going to leave about 1/4 inch on top of there. Then we're going to get scissors out. You can do it all with a knife if you want, but as you can see, I'm a perfectionist. We're going to need that bit for later, but first let's tidy this up. Right, I'm just going to follow this line here. Be careful because these edges are sharp. So if you're a nipper, get your mum to do this. There you go, half a stove made. Next job is to tidy this edge up a little bit. Again, I'm not measuring out, I'm just going to try and keep it so it's the same distance all the way around the can. Now flashy, just across where the top of the punk wording is. Looks about right to me. That looks bang on, doesn't it? So there's our 2 halves of the stove. So this is probably the most complicated bit of making the stove. I'm going to take out the saw blade, which is this one, but you could just use one pair of scissors to do all of this at home if you wanted to. And then I'm going to get my fingers like this, and then I'm going to press a line there. You see that line? But this little bit there, I'm going to push that in a little bit. There we go. So that makes a little indentation there, and that is going to be the jets for your stove. So then, precisely measure, well, I guess about 1 centimetre, something like that, perhaps a little bit more, and do the same again, and then push it in a little bit, and work your way around. And you'll start to see, you know, it crinkle and crimped. It's a bit like a bit of corrugated cardboard, but you're using an aluminium can. So make sure you push that little bin at the top, otherwise your stove's not going to get any fuel out in the end. So push it between your two fingers, and a little bit more pressure there. You can see all that crimping there around the edge. If there's any that need a little bit more pressure, you can always add that at the end, and just go around and check it all. Make sure that there's a little crimp all the way around. Hopefully that's the tough bit out of the way. Sometimes getting these in is the tough bit. So what you have to do is you have to put the top inside the bottom. But occasionally it's a tight fit. So before I crack on, a quick thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. So as you can see, I've created 2 websites very easily using Squarespace. You simply choose one of the templates and customize your own site with your text and photos. In the last 6 months, I've set up my own online shop, and I've sorted out my messner.co.uk domain all through the Squarespace platform. I found it really straightforward to add new products to my online shop, manage stock levels, and it's all made easy with built-in templates. I just add my own content to create a website that's unique and personal to me. So if you want to set up a blog or start your own online empire, then if you use the link squarespace.com/Paul Messner, you'll get a totally free trial where you can set up a website of your own. The great thing is you can get to see what you've created without any obligation. But don't just take my word for it. Click on the link in the description below. You've got nothing to lose. So if you get one of these little offcuts, get your scissors, just trim it around a little bit. Make yourself a little shim. You can use that to help put the stove together. Right, let's try and fit it together. So I'll get most of it together there. Then we'll take this little shim, and I'm just going to move it around and try and get it to fit it in. Sometimes you can use 2 of these, which makes it a little bit easier. But I'm lazy. And I've just done it with 1. So then I need to carefully press this in there. Right, as you can see, there's a bit of a lip there. So what I'm going to need to do is trim some off this bottom bit. This is why they probably measure it up on all the other videos. So what you want are for these little jets to sit just proud of the base. So I'm going to cut off about another 1/4 of an inch. So I reckon there we go. Let's fit it in again, shall we? Well, it's gone in easier that time. And when we squash it down, those jets just sit a little bit proud. That's what I'm looking for. One final step we need to do before we can put fuel in. So we need to put a little hole just in the top here. So that allows a little bit of breathing space for the fuel. So I'm going to use this tool on my army knife, and I'm just going to poke a little hole in there. So that's all it needs, just a tiny little hole. So there's our very simple alcohol stove. So I get asked lots of questions about what kind of alcohol fuel I use. I use bioethanol, This one's La Hacienda brand and I get it from B&Q. It's about £8 for 2 litres, so not that expensive. I'm only going to put it up to just under halfway. You don't want any more than that. Fingers crossed it lights. So I'm just going to use a bit of wood, dip it into the fuel, light it, and then light the stove. You need to be really careful with alcohol stoves because I can't see that that is lit, but it is. So there's a lot of flame there, but when you put your pot on top, it should just come out of the jets at the side. Test it with a pot of water to start off with. Seems to be working bang on. I like the fact that this stove doesn't need a pot support, it's built into it. However, if it's windy, you might need some kind of windshield, so you'd probably have to set it up behind a rock or something like that. Or you could make one with another couple of punk cans. I'm not going to make you wait all day and watch water boil. The showstopper is salmon and asparagus. Let's see how the big pan fares. Now it doesn't balance as easily, so I might have to hold the pan on, but it will work. I had to put this bit of wood there because the stove slides about, tables on a slant. Starting to get a little bit of a sizzle going. Definitely better for a smaller pot though, this stove, unless you've got another pan support to go with it. Get this asparagus in the pot as well. Don't suppose a bit more butter would hurt either. Should we flip it over? That looks fabulous. Stove's still got a fair amount of fuel in it, so be enough to make a brew and cook up a bit of snap, and a lot cheaper than most stoves you can buy. I think that's done enough for me, so I'm going to put that pot back on, and while that bit of fuel burns out, I'm going to tuck into that. So while I eat this, I best get the materials ready for another stove. That is gorgeous. I normally have my salmon a little less done than that. That's the stove burnt out, so I'm going to tuck in. That is perfect. That's me with an empty plate, all thanks to my little punk stove. It's really easy to make and it's a fun little project, so why not give it a go. But the main thing is that no snowmen were harmed in the making of this video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.